Oh, in our view, it's been nothing short of spectacular. We've been averaging in the three events that we've been open, 2 in December and 1 this past Sunday, about 6,000 people. That's, if one does the math here, and statistically, that's about roughly 20% of the island's population. So as far as market penetration, it's been nothing short of spectacular.
Now, the comment on the horses, the availability of the horses are being taken care of. How is that going? How is that operation going?
We have approximately 75 horses on the ground right now. That's able to provide us at least a couple of times a month of racing. And frankly, what we've done here is also attempted to utilize horses in the region. This event this coming Sunday and for the next 3 Sundays, including this Sunday, is predicated on international competition. Now, that is, in fact, regional competition initially, but we're commencing with Antigua, and we'll be doing other Eastern Caribbean nations and then other Caribbean nations beyond that, as we are allowed by various governments to do that. So certainly our government's happy for us to do it, but there is in the transportation of horses between countries a number of bureaucratic and regulatory hurdles that horses have to overcome. As soon as those essentially negotiations are completed, we'll be having horses in and out of St. Kitts at Beaumont Park, really from all over the world all the time. And that's not in the too distant future.
What else can fans expect, though, other than the fact that we're also hoping to engage other Caribbean islands? But what else can fans expect from Beaumont Park?
Well, actually, what we really want them to have, as opposed to expect, is we want them to have a great time. We want this to be a viable entertainment option, not just something one thinks about on the odd Sunday here and there, but something somebody really wants to do and as often as they can. In the not very distant future, we'll be having the commencement of wagering at Beaumont Park, and that means simply the betting on horse outcomes at the track. That obviously will be a huge draw, and we're looking for the inclusion of the other entertainment options that will be available in the not distant future, again in the next year or two, of the butterfly farm and the aviary, and frankly a number of other things I can't talk about just yet that you'll be hearing about pretty soon.
In the court of public opinion, though, there seems to be some division in terms of whether or not wagering or that aspect of the horse racing should be introduced in St. Kitts and Nevis. There's some residents who are in agreement with it. There's some who think that it shouldn't be introduced. Of course, obviously those who are against gambling. What are your views on that? And do you think that would pose any challenge or any difficulty in implementing that without hindrances and impediments?
Well, there'll always be hindrances and impediments, and most of them are psychological or emotional. I can't ever argue to anyone who's against wagering that there ought to be wagering, because there's no way to ever intellectually prove that argument, or to win that argument, more importantly. But what we do is we provide gaming in a safe environment. There's been gaming on the island for any number of years. Everybody knows about casino wagering and so forth. Everybody knows about the lottery. In fact, horse racing wagering has been on the island in the form of off-track betting, meaning in this case at the casino, even here at the Marriott, where there's an off-track betting facility. It's really more of a simulcast wagering facility than an off-track betting facility, but you've been able to wager on horses in greyhound racing here for any number of years. So those who have difficulty with whether wagering occurs or not, it's here, it's legalized, it's correct, it's handled in a totally regulated manner by the government, and one has to think of the good side of wagering. It also provides a phenomenal number of employment opportunities and, frankly, a pretty significant tax base from which the government can draw on. So there are the pluses, there's always the minuses, but we think on balance, the pluses far outweigh the negative.
And how often will races be? Will it be on weekends or mainly, or?
Races typically, once we're in the full bloom of our racing schedule, will probably be a couple times a month, and typically on a weekend. Whenever there's a significant holiday that folks might want to think about enjoying doing something socially somewhere else, we might actually try to do that on occasion also.